Hello, everyone. Leah Dixon here in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live for my regular Wednesday morning Facebook Live. Sorry for popping on quite a bit late this morning, but having technical difficulties. So hopefully the sync between my face and my voice is not too off. Having trouble lining that up for some reason this morning. So anyways, I am going to be creating today with the All Squared Away bundle. And I'll just zoom in here onto my desktop for you guys so that you can get a better look at what's happening there. And I hope you guys are all having a great spring break. I am thoroughly enjoying myself doing Sudokus and card making and walks and books and just very much relaxing, which I've needed for a long time. So here is the All Squared Away bundle that I am using. And it is one of the bundles that is part of the Savings in Bloom sale that's happening right now, 20% off. 13 different bundles plus 20% off the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is just unreal. So a great price. So let's get started because this card today is a shaker card, and so I have some really cool product to share with you and some really cool techniques to share with you to create some fun little looks. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way so that I can actually stamp in my space. I do see that there's some people watching, so if you want to say hi, let me know that you're here. That'd be awesome. So I'm going to start with my Stampin' Pierce mat and a piece of basic white. Hi, Danielle. And so with this Stampin' Pierce mat and a piece of basic white cardstock, I'm going to grab my Pool Party ink. And there's 4 background stamps in here. So I'm just grabbing the one that has like little lines on it. But it's kind of nice because you've got 4 different backgrounds that you can stamp to create fun patterns to go behind your die cut flowers. And so I am using the little stripy one in Pool Party, and I'm going to stamp it twice on this piece of paper that I've got. Hopefully you're having a good spring break. It's been awfully rainy. I know spring break doesn't mean much to people who don't teach or have kids in the school system anymore, but for some of us it's an exciting time still. Let the kids sleep in, no packing lunches. It's very nice. All right, so there's our Pool Party all stamped there. And so I can set that stamp off to the side. Now you can use a paper trimmer to cut these guys down, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just use paper snips to cut them. And when I cut them, I'm going to leave just the tiniest border, but you do want to leave a border. That is for sure. Especially because we're making a shaker card today. If you weren't making a shaker card, it wouldn't matter quite as much. But making a shaker card, we want to leave a tiny border on here. So if you are using a paper trimmer, you want to cut this down so that your square is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, which you'll see your stamped image is a bit smaller than that. All right, so I'll trim this one as well. There we go. And one last one. All right. So we'll clean up this little bit of a mess and move on to our next little piece of work. And actually, I think that we just have our sentiment to stamp left. That is it for stamping with this particular card that I'm making. We're going to let the dies do the heavy lifting for the rest of this card. So I'm going to actually bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is a little guy who's on sale right now. He's very sweet. His sides fold up, and then he looks like a toaster once his sides are folded up. He's pretty cute. Oh, here, I'll fold up the other side too so I can turn him and show you fully. And this is what I love about him, is he's so tiny. I can show him to you right here on my desktop. Oh, mine's a little bit messy though. Yuck. Gotta give him a good cleaning. So this little guy is our mini, and he works with all 13 of the bundles that are on sale right now, and with a whole bunch of other stuff. So the biggest trick to this little guy is when you are cutting with him, I like to use plate 3 and 2 of my plate 2s. That's not the recommended bundle for him, but that's how I like to use him. I find I get a way better cut. Now, I have got here a piece of mother of pearl paper, specialty paper, and I'm going to put down 2 of these awesome square dies and roll this through. Now, you can use any paper you want, but I really like the look of this mother of pearl specialty paper. And so that's what we're going to do, just to add a little bit of shimmer to our card. We're making a birthday card, so I want it to be extra special. All right, so with those rolled through, I'll peel these off. Well, this one always gets stuck. Where's my take your pick tool? I've been working with him a lot, and I don't think I cleaned out all the bits, so then he gets stuck. All right, there we go. And pop out the corner. Awesome. So I love these, so I can just save that now and use that rest of that mother of pearl for something else. And I'll just move this off to the side. We're going to need our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine one more time. We'll just call it the Mini Boss from now on because it's too long to say the whole name. All right, so there we go. Pop all those bits out. So we've got 2 beautiful flowers to work with now. And what I love to do with these guys is to actually use the die cuts to cut out flowers to glue on top to add a little bit of color to the blooms themselves. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab those 3 little guys, and I am going to use another specialty paper. Today is like, I don't know, I went specialty paper crazy. I have got the rainbow glimmer paper that we're going to use. So I'm going to bring our mini back in. Might have to do these one at a time. I don't think I can do them at the same time. Pop down plate 3, plate 2, and then here we'll start with my bloom. There we go. So the little round one I'm throwing onto the shimmer paper right where the blue and the purple meet. And I'll pop that one out. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty. All right. And then I'm going to take my other piece of shimmer paper, and right in kind of the pinkish orangish area is where I'm going to pop in these blooms. All right, so that one's kind of yellowish, pinkish. That one's more reddish. And we'll run those through. Oh, whoops. So sometimes if you, in that case I had paper sticking off the front, it didn't want to grab. I'm just going to pop back in here and do this. There we go. Oh, which one, Danielle? Is it the shimmer paper that you love? The rainbow glimmer? Yeah, rainbow glimmer paper, or the mother of pearl? To me, they're both just unreal. And together, they're really beautiful. So here we go. Now I've got 3 different colored blooms, and they're all sparkly. And I'll put those shimmer papers off to the side for another project. All right, pop that off to the side. Clear up my space a bit more. So now to attach these little guys, you have a few options. If you want to go the no mess way, then you're going to want to grab mini glue dots to attach these. For me, I don't mind a little bit of a mess. So, and I like to be able to kind of reposition them if I don't get them quite right. I just want to see if I like that. I actually don't know if I like that color combo. I think I want this guy to be, nah, we'll leave him. Okay, so you want to use either mini glue dots, or for me, because I like to reposition my flowers, I like to use liquid glue. Oh, the rainbow paper, yeah. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. The rainbow glimmer paper is beautiful. And I love that you can use it kind of all rainbowy, or, you know, just use a portion of it to get the one color that you want. All right, so I've glued that one down, and we'll set that off to the side to dry. And then we'll glue these guys on. And so when I'm doing this, I'm literally doing like 5 drops of glue. We're done. And pop that down. And then what I like is that, yeah, I can kind of smoosh it around. That smooshing it around does 2 things. It spreads those tiny dots of glue a bit more for a better hold, makes it dry quicker, but also it means that I can actually put it how it belongs, because I'm not very good at lining them up on the first set down. So if I had had like a mini glue dot there, I'd be stuck with an off-centered flower. All right, let's set that one off to dry. So those are so beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Now we're going to get to work on the actual like shaker card part. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let those dry a little bit more before we turn them into shakers. So let's actually get our base going. So what I have for our base is a Coastal Cabana piece. This is 11 by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. So I like this style of card when we're doing a horizontal card, so that it doesn't like slide and fall open when it's sitting on somebody's mantle. I know the glue is so good for being able to reposition things. All right, so yet another kind of specialty paper. This one's specialty for a different reason. This is part of the big Pattern Party host pack. And so this is a pack of paper that you can order anytime you host a party or have a, you know, a personal sale that's high enough to be considered hosting a party. And so then you can add this on to your order. And it is a smoke and deal, because I believe it is 48 12 by 12 sheets of paper for $20. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to start by gluing this piece. It is 5 1/2 by 2. And I'm just going to make sure that it's going to fit nicely on my card. You know what? I'm actually just going to take a little bit off of it, because I'm going to be tying a ribbon around it. I just want it to be maybe just a tiny bit less than the 5 1/2, because our fold and everything on our card gets in the way. So I'm just going to trim the itty bittiest piece off of there, just to account for that fold and our ribbon. All right, there we go. So with that trimmed down, I'm just going to double check it again on our card front. So again, my Pattern Party DSP is at 2 inches by 5 1/2. There we go, much better. And then my white, my basic white, is 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I am going to glue this piece right down there. So I am using the thick end so I can get a little bobble of glue and then drag it along so I get a very thin coating of glue. There we go. Oh, the Pattern Party. Yeah, just remember to add it to an order, Jacqueline. I have a rule, like I try not to make small orders. I keep a wish list and I save up all the things I want, and then I place a big order so I can get all those kind of host rewards and stuff. It's really hard to do because, you know, of course, when you decide you want something, you want it now, but I try and resist so that I can save up and get those good host rewards. All right, so now I'm going to take some black. Now you'll notice mine's on quite a big roll. That's because I still had black left over from before. So this now comes in our essentials pack of twine, and you actually get the black, white, gray, Sahara sand, and vanilla. And so it's a really nice combo pack, but I am trying to use up old stock so that I can kind of clean up my office a bit. Almost done. All right, so I just wrapped that around once, tied a knot, and now with my knot tied, I'm going to tie a little bow. Once I get my bow tied, then I'm going to reposition this to where I want it on here. All right, so I added the white layer behind the DSP for two reasons. I think it adds a nice border with having the Coastal Cabana card base, but also because it adds some structure to this DSP for tying this twine around it, or baker's twine. Yeah, that's what it's called. All right, so with that on there, I'm going to scooch it over just a bit more to the left, and I'm going to trim up these ends. Go, 1 and 2, done. All right, so that's done. We can now attach this to our card front. Now I want it to have a nice strong hold, and I don't want to mess around with it slipping and sliding this time. So I am going to use some Seal Plus. Now you don't have to use Seal Plus, but this is going to be a shaker card. There's going to be some significant weight added to the front of this. So I'm going to use Seal Plus just because I like my cards to be extra secure. All right, so when attaching this, I'm going to have to be quite careful. So I'm kind of lining it up, but not pushing down yet. That's one nice thing with the Seal Plus is until you push down, it doesn't really grab. Okay, that looks straight. There we go. Now I will adhere that, and now that is pretty solid. I am not getting this off this card now. So hopefully it's where I want it. All right. So that's done. We are now going to put that to the side. And oh, good morning, Eva. We're just making a shaker card this morning using the all squared away bundle. I'm just getting to the shaker card part. So we just created some beautiful die cuts out of mother of pearl specialty paper and rainbow glimmer paper. And we created some backgrounds. So I'm going to start attaching these backgrounds. So for this one's not going to be a shaker. It's just going to be a standard background. So I'm just going to flip it over, grab some mini glue dots, and I will warn you, I go a little crazy with them. I use a lot of them. You don't have to use this many. I just really like my card to be secure. So I'm doing both tops of that flower. Don't need to do the center because it's right there. But then I am going to do the base of the flower. Then I'm going to come on in and over here at the edge where that leaf meets the edge, and basically everywhere where part of our flower meets an edge, I'm going to throw in a mini glue dot. Now you could also use liquid glue to do this, and you could even bead the outside edge, but I don't want to do that today. All right, so with that done, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to line it up over top of our stamped image. And when I am sure that that is all lined up, I'm going to push down. Now, if you did that and a part of your white is sticking out along the edges, don't worry. Just grab some paper snips and trim it up. Apparently I trimmed mine well, so I don't have any edges sticking out, so that's perfect. All right, so that one's done. Now, before we do this guy, we're going to add a layer, though, because we're going to turn this one into a shaker card. So I'm going to flip them over and do the same thing where I add those mini glue dots, but then instead of lining him up on our stamped background just yet, I am actually going to lay him down on a piece of window sheet. So today, when I said today is the card of specialty papers, I was not kidding. We have rainbow glimmer paper, we have mother of pearl specialty paper, we have window sheets, we have pattern party, host DSP. It is like all about the paper today. Here we go. There we go. So I'm just going to do a few here on these leaves on the inside as well, just because I don't want them popping up like that. They're a little bit more delicate and they don't reach out to the edges like the leaves on the other ones. So I just want to make sure that they're going to stay down. And same with these petals here. I'm just going to pop one there. All right. So now having this fully secured to our plastic like all the way out to the edges is not really essential, because the key part to the shaker card is that the window sheet gets fully sealed on the inside. The outside doesn't matter so much. So I am going to just go take this window sheet and line it up on here and pop it down. Now I can see that when I cut this, I cut it at 1 7/8, but I may not have been too careful because it is a bit larger than we need. You guys might not be able to see that on the screen because it's a window sheet, but I can see it here in person. So this is what I was talking about with the other one, with the background. If your background was too big, you can just come in here with some paper snips. And I'm even just kind of angling them so that I'm going a little bit under my border. And I'm just going to trim off the excess window sheet that I have here. All right, so it's just, I lined it up so that it was just two sides that were affected. And so trim that off. So now this little guy is on a window sheet entirely. So nothing's going to get through those holes, but we're going to be able to see through them to see our beautiful background and the sequins that we're going to pop in there to make this pretty card. So now that we've got that window sheet on, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to get another specialty item that I have, and it is my foam adhesive strips. And so these are dimensionals that are in itty bitty strips. And this is my preferred thing for making shaker cards, especially when they've got a thin border like this. So what I've done here is I've just lined this up along here, and I've got a pen, and I'm not going into, like, I'm lining it up with the inside edge because I want to create like, I don't think it's called a dovetail, but I want to create a box where all the edges kind of overlap on each other. I don't want to create like two outside pieces and two inside pieces. I want every piece to layer. So I'm going to put this one right to the corner. Make sure I'm staying on the inside of my border. And there we go. So that one's on. Now I'm going to measure out another piece. So I'm going to use my pen again. This time I am going to go all the way out to that end, but I'm going to do my marking on the inside. There we go. Now I've got that little piece there. I'm going to save it and start a new row. I'm not going to bother trying to use that on this. I'll use that for something else. Okay, and then I'm going to pop in here, lay them down, and you'll see it came all the way down right to that other edge. And then I'm just going to keep doing that so that I always have, like, they touch all of the corners. Okay, so we'll come over here, and this guy's got to go that whole length. Okay, there we go. Snip. So this is just dimensionals in strips. It's called adhesive foam strips. And so again, I'm just going to come on in here, and I don't want it to go all the way to the one end. I want it to go all the way this way. There we go. And I've got one last piece to do. So from there to there. Oops, I just took the backing off, darn it. Oh well. So it'll be a bit trickier to attach, but luckily it's our last one. And we're going to be peeling this backing off anyways. There we go. So now that I've got that full box, and you can see there are no holes anywhere on this. This is fully surrounding it. I can now take those. Actually, before I take those backings off, I should pour in my sequins. So that way I won't get stuck to the edges. I'll just have to be careful on the one. So I have here, oh, darn it, what are these called? You get red, gold, silver, green, and yeah, red, gold, silver, and green. So you get the 4 colors in the pack. I'm using the green ones. I just thought, you know, St. Patrick's Day coming and all, we'll do kind of a rainbow and green kind of thing. So you don't want to overfill this. The patience of Job. Oh, you're funny, Shirley. Oh, this is not something that requires patience to me. This is just my relaxation. It's like when I watch people calmly moving around a kitchen. That's not my thing. I have certain recipes, but it's not my relaxation place. But stamping, I could just do the fiddliest things and just enjoy it. All right, so now I'm going to take this background that I created, and I'm going to pop this down on top of my border here. So there we go. Make sure all the edges are sealed down, because otherwise your little sequins are going to escape. Whoops. And then voila, we have made ourselves a little shaker card. Now, if you're finding that you can see little bits sticking out the ends, don't worry about that. Just come on in here, get under your top layer, and just trim those a bit. Just make sure that your adhesive stays stuck to the top panel. All right, and so that's all you're going to do. Now, I did use a white frame because it is a little bit more forgiving to the white foam. If you used a darker frame, you may actually have to, if you can't trim it up enough, you may actually have to grab like a marker and just color your foam a bit so that it hides itself when there's little bits peeking out. And of course, you're going to have the whole side kind of revealed as well. So you're going to have that white base. So yeah, I just grab a marker and use that to trim it up if I'm not using white. But I purposefully used white today so that it would be a little bit easier to hide it all. All right, so I can move that pen and my take your pick tool out of the way. And now that we've got both of these pieces created, we're going to attach them to our card front. Now, this little guy, I am going to attach quite far over, I think. Like that. Not quite. So I want, in the end, I want the two to kind of feel like they've been centered so that they have an equal space on each side, but I am going to overlap them like you can see. So I'm just going to kind of figure out where I want them first. Okay, so about 2 fingers, just at the pink and red. All right, so now I'm going to move those over. I'm going to grab, you can use seal, you can use liquid glue, whatever you'd like. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of the one that we did not turn into a shaker card. Okay, and then when I put this down, I want my flowers to be above the pattern line. There. All right, that one's done. Now for our next one, I'm not going to be able to put seal on the back because I can't really press down. So you can use liquid glue, or I'm going to use some tear and tape. So just at the top and the bottom. So pop that on there. And then peel this back. There we go. One more. Oh, come on. So I find the key to this stuff is to make sure that you've really pushed it down before you start to peel it, so that it has a good hold. There we go. All right, now when I put this guy down, I'm going to overlap him, but still keep him so he's up above the rainbow bottom. There we go. All right, and he's over top of the ribbon. So kind of a few factors to look for here. All right, now with that done, oh, he's not really sticking down. I'm going to have to sneak a piece of, actually, you know what? I'm going to sneak a mini glue dot in there to hold down this front corner, because I guess I didn't get any adhesive all the way up there. And between the ribbon and no adhesive, he's popping up, and I don't like that. So I've got a mini glue dot here. Sneak it under, push down, and pull my take your prick tool out. And there we go. Now that front corner is being held down. That's much better. All right. Actually, I'm going to keep my take your pick tool because I'm going to do a little bit of Stampin' and a little bit of embellishments now. We've got our sentiment. So I'm going to stamp happiest of birthdays to you. And I'm going to stamp it right up there in that spot between the two flowers. So this is, you know, where you want to be quite careful because you've done all this work to create this card. And now you're stamping in black right on the card. Love it. So it worked out. And then our final touch is to add some embellishments, and I'm using the matte black dots. So I've got that black ribbon, the black sentiment, and then I'm going to come in here with the largest of the black dots and create a center for that flower. And then I'm going to use the smaller black dots just up here, just to create a diagonal between the bow and the dot, and like kind of keep our black kind of moving in a diagonal across our card. All right, oops. There we go. So that is our finished card for today. Hey, Tracy. And voila, we've got our little shaker there with our green sequins in there. I think they're called everyday sequins. And just a shiny, beautiful little birthday card for somebody. Oh, you were wondering about the black twine? Yeah, I just wanted a little bit of a thing going with the black. So there we go. That is our finished card for today. So before I switch my screens, hi Cindy. I also wanted to just remind people, if you haven't signed up yet for my Waves of the Ocean card class, I'm doing a stamp camp on April 2nd with Ange McKay and Lori Wilcox, and the three of us have put together some beautiful cards using the Waves of the Ocean bundle. I can throw the link to that into the comments, or you can just use my link tree to find out all about this class. So it's going to be a 9-card stamp camp, and you just have to buy the bundle to get free access to the camp using my host code. Or we do have like a special way to become part of this stamp camp if you are a demo and already have the bundle. So you can see the details in there in the jot form. I know it's coming up. It's like only, oh, what, 3 weeks away? I can't believe it. So today, well, not today, but before Friday, you need to register for this one. So I have time to cut your stuff and send it off to you. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful camp. I'm realizing my lights are pretty bright there and it's hard to see our little pelican there. So it's the foil papers, the rhinestones, this gorgeous DSP, and then some beautiful dies and stamps. And yeah, that's coming up as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And let's see here, I'm just going to switch my view. There we go. I am going to go enjoy some more spring break fun with the kids, go for some walks, go see the grandparents, all of that. And I actually won't be live next Wednesday. I will be driving home from the interior, actually. So I will try and post some kind of video for you. Maybe I might even have time before I go away to pre-record something, but there will be something posted for you on Wednesday morning. But I won't be live. I'll try and go live sometime later after I get back from my trip. So just a little getaway, just me and the boys. We're leaving Noah at home. So poor guy. So yeah, thank you everyone. Have a great day, and check out my link tree to see what's coming up in terms of, you know, sales and classes and all sorts of stuff. Bye.